What up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. What is going on, everyone? Man, it is a happy Tuesday indeed.
It's our 100th episode!
Yeah, I see you wanted to get that off.
Our 100th episode.
So we made it to 100.
We did it!
Man, a lot of benchmarks have been happening this year, regardless of this whole Corona thing. We've been podcasting for over a year now. Our 100th episode right now.
I know, that's weird. 100th.
And yeah, it's been a good run. A lot of great episodes.
We did interviews, which was new for us.
Yeah, it's been a great time. With this episode, we want to do something different, and I'll explain in just a moment because I'm completely forgetting to intro who we are if you're new to the podcast.
I was just so excited.
So I am Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife,
Lauren.
So we have an interesting game, and we saw these YouTubers playing it, and we're like, oh, we should get this for ourselves. And I think we did this for like an episode. We answered a few questions.
We did a little, yeah.
So this game is called Intimacy. You can find it on Amazon, and it's just getting to know your partner better. The description they give is when the conversation with your partner becomes scarce or superficial, intimacy plummets. That's because intimacy is more than physical. It's also the connection you feel on a mental, emotional, and even spiritual level. Strong relationships are built on strong communication. The intimacy deck is a tool you can use to keep on talking with your partner. Use it regardless to spark meaningful conversations that help you cultivate and deepen your love. It comes with 115 questions and split across 6 categories.
Yeah, and we've done this by ourselves before too. And it's a cool deck that, I mean, we've been together for 5.5 years now, but it still would have questions that arise that just have it so you guys get to know each other a little bit deeper, and have those important conversations that sometimes are not the easiest, but are important, about, past stuff and you as a person and things like that. So it's really interesting. And we thought we wanted to do something different for our 100th episode, and we didn't really know what to do for a while, just because of our style of podcast. But we figured since we started as pretty much like a relationship podcast, that this would be a fun way to kind of just celebrate the episode.
So these categories we're going to be touching on, which we'll call it as we go through these cards. They have life, relationship, intimacy, random, past, and about you. So 6 categories ranging between a lot of different things. We played this a little bit, so we took out those cards that we did use, and yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'll say for this, if a topic comes up, you can read the card out so people know what it is.
Yeah.
But if it gets too spicy for either one of us, I guess we'll
too personal for a podcast.
We'll pass on it. But
yeah,
because
some of them are like really intense. So,
but just having fun. I just want to have a fun episode. Do you want to kick this off? Because it looks like I think it's the intimacy one.
Also, just heads up. Totally, before all this Corona stuff happened, I wanted to get like balloons or something fun for our 100th episode, and then it didn't happen just because.
Maybe I
don't know how to make that happen because I don't want to. I'm very much not going out in public for frivolous reasons. I'm just going grocery shopping, and then it's like you can order them from Amazon, but then they're not inflated. So it's like, yeah, because I totally wanted to like get all excited for the video portion at least. But oh well, next time.
So do you want to start? Or do you want me?
Do you want me to ask? That's what you mean by start?
Well, I mean, we're probably just gonna go back and forth and answer questions.
So do you want me to ask first?
Sure.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you with public displays of affection? Explain.
That is intimacy also.
Oh, sorry.
That's
an intimacy card. I forgot to say the category.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you with public display? Oh, man. I feel like I'm about a 5. Because there's times where I'm just like, I don't want to. It's just like... It never, I never was really about that growing up and, seeing other people do it. And, of course you see, back in the days when the mall was a cool place to go, you see, the couple, hugged up, going hardcore on the faces. And I'm just it kind of, turned me off to that. And it's I'm not a big fan of that. What are your thoughts?
I feel like I'm probably more of a fan of it than you are. Because I know there's times like I'll just like, I don't know, want to sneak a kiss and I could tell you're not about it.
Yeah.
Just because of like who we're around or something. Maybe if it's like a crowd, because I know that you want to be very observant when we're in crowds. Yeah. So you don't want to be distracted. But I mean, I'm not the type to also like full on make out in public. Or anything that crazy, but I like hand holding, little kisses here and there, hugging's okay, like, basic stuff.
Okay.
So,
just so I'm not picking like the same card after you, I'm gonna put these right here. And if you're watching on the video version of this on YouTube, you'll be able to like see what we're picking, or as best as what you can see, whatever the camera is in range of. But you'll be able to see us like reading these. Because I want to separate from like an intimacy card and go with something else here. Ooh, about you. What do you think are my worst qualities? Oh, shoot.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that seems intense.
What are my worst qualities? Go ahead.
Worst?
Yes, what are my worst qualities? Let everyone know.
It's more so, I don't know. I don't know if it's a qualities thing or more so preference. Because I know, like, for example, like, so... a little random tidbit. Him and I took the Enneagram test the other night. We finally got on that bandwagon, and we found out that we're literally complete opposites, which we already knew. We already knew this, but I mean, apparently we're like the most opposite that you could be, and I'm like, oh. And so, for that reason, throughout our relationship, just things have been bumpy sometimes to like figure out how to love each other when we're so different. So I feel like it's more stuff like over the years if I would complain about versus like you as a person having a bad quality. I don't know.
Okay, stop trying to like soften me up and just say something. Like,
well, I'm trying to think too. I'm that type of person that when I'm put on the spot, I also like forget everything. So like, don't mind me.
Yeah, and then that later today, she's like, gosh. I know what a bad quality is of you.
No, truly. At the bridal shower last year when they were doing those questions and you had to answer them ahead of time. Okay. Do you remember that game? Yeah. And I was on the spot, and I think one of it was it your pet peeve or my pet peeve? I don't know. It was something about a pet peeve. And for some reason, I was totally blanking, and it was so awkward. And I'm just like, oh my God, I have to answer because everybody's just staring at me.
That's how I feel right now. Like, you should answer what it is. Like,
I don't know. Well, like for example, like, oh gosh,
she's beating around the bush.
Well, sometimes like I hate when you're like screaming at a video game when I'm trying to sleep.
Is that a
but
quality?
Like that's not right. That's what I'm saying. That's more of a pet peeve. I feel like.
I know. Like you want me to come back to you?
A quality. Like of you as a person. I don't know. Okay. I don't think you're bad.
Okay.
Why? Do you have something to say about me?
I'll take this one. And if you're gonna sit there and be
he got something ready.
All right. So yeah, as you said, we're pretty much the opposite. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's the worst, but like one thing that I don't really like is just having someone that's like a bit more dependent than I am, like dependent on someone else, and like I don't know how to like better like word this.
I mean, like, a little, because let's not pretend I'm not an independent woman.
You do your thing. You have your business, all that stuff, but like some of the things that like you want every now and then.
Emotionally.
Like, yeah, there we go.
Because I am much more the emotional person in the relationship. Yeah. He's much more the logical, just straight path. Kind of person. Maybe that's it then. Maybe because sometimes you can be kind of blunt.
But I love when people are blunt.
Well, I do too. There are times that has really helped me grow as a person. But then there's other times when I'm like, all right, you can like tone it down a little bit. Like,
okay, too bad.
So maybe. Oh, see, he doesn't like when I said one though.
Too bad.
Too bad.
All right, go ahead.
Wait, is it my? Okay.
Dog, you don't have to like pick from the. I just set them up so you can pick anywhere. Yeah.
Well, anyways, we got an intimacy card again. What's your favorite way to receive affection?
Oh man, I could go for some like quiet time.
That's not how is that affection?
I receive that. That's my affection. When someone loves me, it's when they give me just some peace and quiet. That's how I know it's real
See
love.
what I'm talking about? We're so opposite. He's all like, no, goodbye. And I'm all like, come here.
To receive affection.
Like,
what's your favorite way to receive affection?
yeah, so what is, because remember when we went over the love languages, it could be like an act of service, say like, you know, because I like when you'll like hand wash the dishes or something, or like, you know, it doesn't have to be a hug or it could be words of affirmation, like I appreciate when you do this, like it's all different, there's different ways, it doesn't just have to be physical.
Okay, if you're not, if my giving me my, you know, own space isn't a way
like
to receive affection, then probably every now and then when I get like words of affirmation, I'm not heavy on it because I don't really care, but every now and then it's like it's cool to like get like,
you say you're not heavy on it, but I think you really do appreciate when I say how I appreciate something.
Not all the time. It has to be like, it has to have value, because if someone says it all the time, it's just you watering.
Well, yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, because I don't think the whole leaving me alone counts as affection. I feel like that's more so a just boundary and like love and respect level. I don't think it counts as affection. Me, I'm all over the place.
Ain't that the truth?
You know what?
Ain't that the truth? I don't even know how I made it to 100.
Excuse me? Because I definitely am heavy on the physical affection. I do, you know, when I'm upset, I like hugs. When I'm excited and share good news, I like hugs then too, or high fives or whatever. So like the physical aspect is important to me, but all of it, I don't know, my favorite, I think it depends on the situation, because like I said, sometimes I just really appreciate when you like, so like for example, we have certain chores that like each of us kind of do more so, but then like, so me, I hand wash the dishes more because there's certain ones that it basically is more me using the ones that have to be hand washed and can't go in the dishwasher. And so like every now and then when you choose to do that, and especially if I'm like stressed out or something or busy, like I really appreciate that. Or yeah, I love when you know, appreciate me as a person. So I don't know. I feel like it really depends on the situation. Maybe I'd say the physical aspect though, because that seems to be more of the day to day.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I want a juicy one. That's what I want.
Oh gosh, I don't.
I want a juicy one. What the heck? I'm trying to. Oh, here. Okay. So here comes a relationship one.
Oh no.
Have you ever flipped me off when my back was turned? If so,
probably.
Why? If not, when have you wanted to?
Oh gosh, I'm not going to remember specific instances. I probably have though.
Then why would you do that to me?
Just because I was really pissed off. It probably was one of the instances where I felt like I wasn't being heard.
I mean, that's pretty much every instance, but yeah.
You know,
like that's every instance you feel like you're not being heard.
Yeah, but yeah. No, I know I have. I know I have that one time. Especially, no, I don't remember exactly the instance, but like one of the times I've been like, we've been separated, you've been in the living room and I was in the bedroom, like I was just, yeah.
You're like, middle fingers up, chuck them the deuces.
Yeah, I wasn't that awkward about it, but yeah.
I mean, it's not awkward. I'm just telling you that's what it was.
What about you?
I don't do that.
I don't do it often. I feel like I did it once or something.
I never do it because it taps into the emotional side. Since I'm not that emotional, like it's not something I'm gonna do.
Oh, right.
Like I focus more on the problem than focus on disliking the person. So yeah, I've never wanted to.
Plus,
if I do it, it's in person and it's normally a joke. Like I do it to your face, like hey.
Plus, I feel like I'm not a middle finger person unless I'm driving. And I get mad.
Yo, when you were driving, you were just like middle fingers up to everyone. Yo, the other day, this guy like almost hit us.
Stop it.
And she rolled the window. She's like, what do you say? You said something asshole. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die.
No, I was like, learn to drive, jackass.
I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, you guys don't understand. Okay, so this guy, we're driving home from Target, and he goes to back up and almost like hits me because he's not paying attention to like where he's backing up. So I let him back up and finish going. Okay, that was the first instance. Then the way the parking lot is set up, I go one way to get out and he goes another. He went like this roundabout way. Yeah. Which then I had the right of way to turn left with how I was driving, and he was gonna blast through and go straight into my car, like, and hit the passenger side. And like
would have been
he
DOA.
no, like seriously, the way he was like
driving
speeding
fast.
Exactly. So then at that point I had just had it, because I already dealt with you 5 seconds ago being a terrible driver, and now you almost hit me like super hard. So I was stressed from grocery shopping. Okay, grocery shopping is a hell of a chore now in quarantine. So yeah, that's the backstory there.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not really a middle finger person besides that, I feel like.
Yeah. Just watch out when I'm in the passenger seat, because you go off. And now it's just like I should just be driving, because you're like, every time I'm like, you sure you don't want me to drive? Because you just seem like you got a lot going on.
Okay.
I want a juicy one.
This is random. What's one thing you want to do together that we've never done before?
Oh man, there's a lot of things.
Aww.
I mean, you don't know what they are to know if they're sweet or not.
Well, it just is nice, because that means you want to do a lot of things with me.
Dog. One of the things I hope, as we're looking for houses, if you guys haven't heard our like first episode of this 2020, this is one thing I want to do, which I think you've already said you did, like in the past one of these. I think we said,
What?
or maybe I'm wrong.
What?
Dog. I would love for us to have a pool, to have like a late night, like skinny dipping, like type
I
of
have
vibe.
never skinny dipped.
Oh, I'm wrong. Okay, maybe I'm just it's just my mind.
You're losing your mind. Who are you talking to about skinny dipping?
I feel like, okay, so imagine this in my head. We got our own place. Hopefully it's should be fenced up by then, and hopefully there's a pool, even if it's like a little kiddie pool.
Okay, that's a little weird.
And then it's like, I'm thinking in my head, like you have like little low lights like outside, just to so you can see around. Mm-hmm. But like it sets the mood. And then you got the little pool, and we're like, hey, we just cruising in the pool on a late weekend night or something something. Like I feel like that would be a vibe. No, you're not doing it. Not digging it. Not digging it. I mean, there's other ones. That's one that just comes to my mind like as soon as I heard that.
Okay.
And the one that's not as sexual, probably. Yeah, I mean, probably like a few more trips, a few more places.
Man, I want to live. Okay, so this quarantine and this corona is kind of killing that. On top of the fact that I want to like travel places before kids. So the one for me, is I want to go to Disney World with you, pre-kids.
Good luck.
So we wanted to do that. Then we realized this was before even this stuff hit, how expensive it was going to be.
A lot of money. Shout out to you guys that have been to Disney.
Oh my God. The people that have been to Disney like zillions of times. How? Because now I get it. I get why I never went as a kid. That's the thing. That's one of those things you never want to admit as an adult, is like you understand why your parents made the decisions they did. Yep. But like... because then I'm like, wait, I want to go pre-kids and post-kids. How are we going to do it with kids too? So, all right. But, I've never been to Disney World before. It's always been on my bucket list. I have to do it. And I've always wanted to do it before kids, because I want to experience it just like for myself, and not have to worry about what do the kids want to do? Are they tired? Do they need to eat? All this stuff. So, we wanted to plan that for like the next year or two, and we were looking into it right before all this stuff happened, and realized how expensive it is. And so we might have to like push it out even further, which is crazy, on top of now, of course, all this stuff that has messed that up. But yeah, that's like the biggie, is I'd like to do that. But in general, travel more with you. I think we'd both like to go back to Mexico.
Yeah, I want to do Mexico. Be nice. I want to do California in the future. Yeah. All right, so I got intimacy. What famous person would you want a hall pass to sleep with?
I mean, the obvious one is Channing Tatum.
Ew.
That was the whole like thing last year. Was like that was the whole like crush thing. I think that was in a bridal shower question. It was on a very interesting cake at my bachelorette.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's the obvious one. I mean, I feel like over the years I've evolved since that too. I have other people that I find attractive besides him. I feel like he was the one during maybe college years. But yeah, I guess that's the first one I would think of. There are different ones though. How about you?
I don't have one.
That's lame.
Yeah, but I don't have one because it's like I don't really. Yeah.
My problem is I am the type of
Want a
person.
celebrity.
Right. So I'm the type of person I need to have like the relationship or the connection or whatever first before doing that. I'm not like a one night stand person, so I feel like me as a person wouldn't enjoy it as much as an actual like relationship. So for me, it kind of is like,
Sure.
Like, sure, you can be physically attractive.
She says that now until she has a whole night with Jane Taylor. She's like, oh, okay, I'm cool.
Because, well, also, let's remember, though, these celebrities might majorly let us down. Not only in the fact that who knows how they perform physically, but also they may be assholes when you actually meet them. You don't know. Well, so it's like, I don't know.
Well, also, I don't feel like, me personally, I don't really find celebrities attractive. Like, of course they look good or all stuff. I'm not saying that, but like as far as like wanting to do that, like I'm sure I could find a bunch of like. I could probably find a girl on Instagram that's a bit more attractive than a celebrity. At least in my opinion, because I feel like that's real. I think that's probably my connection to it.
So an Instagram model though?
No, I'm not going with that. What?
Okay, so not one of the people who are like social
an average
media
girl that's
famous.
on Instagram.
Okay.
Versus, because I feel like in my mind that's real.
Though, because then I feel like you're cheating. Because now you're going after an attainable person. That's the whole idea with celebrities. The whole thing with celebrities having the hall pass is because they're unattainable, and if you got the chance, it would be so rare.
It's unattainable for me to deal with a girl that's in Tennessee.
No. Not if she's like a normal person. People still make that work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? So I'm going to fly to Tennessee, or she going to come to get
Maybe.
Connecticut?
After all this stuff is over, who knows?
Totally. Because
the possibilities are endless.
There's totally stuff happening in Connecticut to even fly here for.
Yeah, apparently outside people think there is. I don't know.
No, I don't feel like that makes no sense. Like, I can understand if it's like some girl from like New York or something, but like someone that's in Wyoming that I'm like, yo, average girl and all that stuff. No, it's still the same. Like, there's no way.
Okay.
Like, I still treat that as the same as celebrity. Like, there's no way.
Okay.
How?
I'm just saying.
How, Sway? You ain't got the answers. Shout out to those people that get that reference.
Okay.
Is that your turn to pull?
Oh.
Come on, dog. Like, why are you slacking? Yeah, the cards are thick. It's hard to know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so Mr. How are you slacking?
Poke.
Past.
Ooh.
What's the angriest you've ever felt and why?
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Angriest I've ever felt. Ooh. So this is just in general.
Your life.
I don't really have any.
Oh, here we go. He's going to have a terrible answer.
Oh, no, I got one.
Yeah.
I got one. So I'm not trying to get into the whole details of it.
Right.
But essentially, a friend pretty much lied to me and had me believing things and stuff like that.
Oh, I know what you're talking
really,
about.
It messed with my mind, and it kind of killed some of my like social parts of my life because of it. And like, yo, that made me so mad. And it's funny, at the time I was like a little rapper here. You know, you gotta say it like, I gotta say it like Baby Yoda memes. Snacky snack. So like I made like a little diss song to this guy. And like, dog, every time I listen to it, the first verse, it's like, whatever. And then like there's a certain part in it where I just like, as I'm like rapping it, something just kicks in. And, like, you hear, like, my voice just change, and it just gets a lot more aggressive. And I'm like, ooh, Shadell, I didn't know you had this in you. That's how I felt every time I listen to that song. And, like, I went hard. Like, I made, like, a lyric video. Like, this is how much emphasis I put. I made a lyric video. I put pictures up relating to whatever I was talking to.
Oh, no.
Did I show you this?
I think you did.
Well, I'm showing it to you again.
Way back.
Like,
yeah.
dog, that, oh my God. And that, I felt that to my core, everything I was saying. And when I was recording that, it just, whew, that was probably the angriest I've ever felt against someone. How about you?
I will keep it general, but I feel like, and I mean, I have different situations, so I can't really say if one was so much more than the other, but angriest, I guess, I've felt is while processing through working through past trauma with someone specifically. I don't want to get, I'm not getting like specific, but that a prominent person in my life, and the process of processing it can often bring up more of those emotions than even when you went through it, because when you go through trauma and stuff, you often have coping mechanisms so that you can get through it in the moment. And then when you actually go to process it to try and heal from it and get past it, all of this stuff comes up, and you could be, you could start sobbing, and then you could start getting really mad thinking about, how could a person do such a thing, or why did I react this way, and things like that. So that I feel like that's when I can get the angriest.
Okay. So I got a random card here. And this one, it's funny because we just having this conversation this morning. So it is, who do you think the disciplinary... Oh, there goes the dog barking. Who do you think the disciplinarian will be between us if and when we have children?
I think it'll depend on what's happening.
Yeah.
I really think it depends.
I handle a lot of things case by case.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I'm probably going to be a bit more lenient on, and then a lot of things you may not be, and, vice versa.
Yeah, I really think it depends.
I feel like at the core of it, the way I handle it would probably be a little, I don't know.
I don't know, though. Don't put it all on me, because I'm also the type of person, I went through and I not trained in, what's the word I'm looking for? I was educated in early childhood education. And so I feel like I have a different kind of perspective of how to discipline when they're younger than you. And you don't like the whole redirection aspect as much as I do.
Again, it has to be case by case. I'm not going to, if the kid goes and draws on the wall and, it's like, Daddy, look what I did. I'm not going to be like, yo, you did bad. We literally had
this conversation. Well, this conversation about drawing on the wall.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
My idea of it is, if your child draws on the wall and it was not from a I'm angry at you or malicious intent, and say they come to you and they're so excited and they really think they made something great, that's one of those situations I feel like it's inappropriate to just completely freak out or discipline them and get mad and scold them, just because there are times in life, and it starts very young like that, where they may not display something in the right way. They may not go about it in the right way, but they're trying to show you something that either could be an interest that can grow as time goes on, and you don't want to diminish that or influence that, or they could show you something they're really proud of, and you don't want to come at it as a way that they can't come to you and be proud of something. They can't share their life with you. So I know that sounds so deep, but it really does start young, and you set up these kind of habits of how your children can talk to you. Mm-hmm. And so that's where I'm like, yes, you can educate them. You can say it in a way that they can understand that, that's where redirection for me comes in, is wow, that is so pretty. How about you show me what that looks like on this piece of paper? And something like that, instead of just no, that's bad. You need to scrub that off. You shouldn't have done that. All this stuff. I've seen these adorable memes online of a parent that was so proud of what they drew on the wall, and it could literally be scribbles, but they literally got a tiny little frame and just put it on the wall. It could even be way down low where they can reach. They just put a little frame, and that showed that they were just proud of what the kid did.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, again, it's case by case. I'm not saying I'm going to be like lenient on my kid the entire time, but I think something like that is important because, hey, I come from an artsy perspective too, where, I do makeup and stuff, and I don't know, there was this time, and I've explained this to you. When I was a kid, I got this set of like headboard and footboard from my great aunt and uncle for the twin bed in my room. And it was like apparently like a really nice wood. I didn't really understand that at the time, of course. I literally etched like a little sailboat into the headboard. Like etched it, okay? And my parents really hated that. And I mean, I don't blame them. Like, let's be real. But, it's just interesting how kids kind of process wanting to show their more creative side. So yes, you can tell them an appropriate way to do it, but also like not take their head off.
But also
in the process.
Next thing is like I totally get where your parents are coming from, but I'm like, if our kid had a headboard and it was like wood or whatever and they did that, I'm like, I don't give a, do what you want on a headboard. I don't care.
Well, right. See, my parents were like, this is like expensive. Yeah. It was like, it was more of the teaching. Right, but it was more of the teaching of that, of like, you need to know the value of things sometimes, which I get that. Yeah. Like, because you don't want to go and destroy like everything. Well,
but something like that, like I'd be a bit more lenient on. Like I wouldn't like say, yo, you did a great job, keep it up. But like,
right.
It's like, yo,
oh, I never did it again.
Don't do that. Yeah, but I feel like it was probably a bit more aggressive because they were mad because of everything. But like, I'd be I'll be like in the middle ground.
Right.
I feel like in a situation like that.
Yeah.
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 All right. Let's see what we got here.
Missy's like, I gotta sit next to you guys. She has her own chair.
Pick one of these life cards because we haven't hit one of these. Ooh, this is kind of interesting. It kind of goes with the last one we just did. So this is a life card. It says, with kids, do you want to work part-time, full-time, or be a stay-at-home parent?
I've struggled with this. My gut just says I'm still going to be doing my business full-time probably. Mm-hmm. Because it doesn't make sense not to. By the time we want to have kids, I'm probably not going to be established in the place that I want to be, where I can see myself completely stepping away. I think when I want to get my business to the point where when I get pregnant, I know I can take maternity leave and I can have people still like running it while I'm on maternity leave. So I want that option. But I think maybe I'll do a little bit of part-time, but it'll still very much be in my life and be a big part of my life. I've struggled with this because I think coming from the female perspective, we are often pressured that we have to choose one or the other, and it's really hard to do both. It's hard, there's no doubt, but I don't think it's impossible. Mm-hmm. And I think it'll be really important to show my children what you can do, especially if we have girls. I don't want to not be a presence in their life. I don't want it to be where I'm working so much that becomes an issue. And then the kids are like, why is mommy never home? Why can't I play with mommy? Why can't she take me here? And like things like that. But I think there should be a balance there. I don't want to by any means give up my career because I've found what I love and I see it growing exponentially and things like that. So, both is very important to me. So I think it may depend on the timing, whether I do more part or full time. And maybe as things progress with my business, maybe I'll be able to step away more and more as they get older so that I can be there more, say, for like school events or vacations or whatever the case may be. So, but I don't see myself being a stay-at-home parent personally.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the balance that I hope to have as a parent is being full time and then like during those times when I'm not working, and especially during the weekend, it's like okay, we'll have time together. We'll watch a movie. We'll go to the park. We'll do like that's like the time that we'll be together. Mm-hmm. Because it's tough, especially in this day and age, to like have one parent just working and like the other person not working or even part-time. Like it's tricky. And I think it's also something good to see like the kid, whether it be a boy or a girl, like see like, okay, mommy and daddy have to work, and like they get it.
Right.
And it's like, as long as you create that like balance of like, okay, when they're not working, they're still able to, they don't feel alone when you're there.
Right.
Because that's one thing that like I'm kind of like fearful of, and I don't want to happen. Like I want, when I am available at home, they're like, hey, we can hang out, whatever, all that stuff.
Right. Yep. I always thought it would be interesting if you were like the stay-at-home dad. If it ever got to that point where, say, I'm like real successful. I mean, hey, I'm not limiting myself, but I always thought that would be interesting. I was never opposed to that if it was the opposite of, I guess, traditional ways of the dads being the stay-at-home parent. I always thought that's a kind of cool thing if that's a possibility. But I think if you were to work part-time, though, it doesn't really make sense, because if you're at the point where you can work part-time financially, it almost just makes more sense to take the plunge, because also think about it. To get to that point, that means I have to be able to have like our health insurance under control and stuff like that, because your benefits would be taken away. And it's like, I don't know. It makes more sense right now for you to work for stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tricky, I guess, with our dynamic, but yeah.
Yeah.
I just really hope that I'm successful at the balance part. That's the weight I put on myself. That I'm just,
with you, bro.
Yeah, I want to be a presence in the kid's life. But it's going to be interesting because self-care will still be important.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like this whole balancing act. I don't know. But I think we'll figure it out with time.
Yeah.
What's this one? About you. What lie have you told so much that you now believe it? I remember we talked about this one before. This one got deep for me.
I would probably say it doesn't happen too often. Like it's very rare. But it's like when you say you're okay, you tell yourself you're okay a bunch, and then when things get real bad,
that's kind of similar to mine.
You tell yourself you're okay, and it's like sometimes, again, it's rare for me, but when it does happen, it's like telling myself like it's not okay, and I can have that moment to like cry if I need to, or just be separate. Especially during this quarantine thing of like normally I'm just everyone knows me as like the cool person, like when the president comes to the office, he's normally like I'm just waiting to see when Shadell's gonna not be as cool here, just always here, just smiling and happy and all that stuff. And it's just like, it's a little joke, of course, but
it almost puts pressure on you.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
because I'm cool no matter what. I don't take it stress. I'm not stressed about anything that has to deal with it. Now this quarantine stuff I am, because now my work life balance has become blurred.
Yep.
And that's why it's like I'm not okay, and everyone gets it, so I'm cool with it. Like everyone understands, because everyone's under the same thing. I see all my other coworkers, working later and getting on earlier, all that stuff. So it's just it's telling myself that I'm okay with something when I'm truly not, and just being able to like take a breather and work through it.
I think everybody deals with that. I think we get so caught up in a cycle of convincing ourselves that we're fine or okay or good, because whenever someone's like, how are you, the answer is good, no matter what you're going through. You could be going through World War III with your spouse, your parents, whoever, but it's always you're good, and that's where it ends. And it's like, that is not necessarily the greatest thing for you to do for yourself, but I get it, because it's you can't just go into it with everybody. But for me, it's kind of similar. So I'll preface this by saying that I don't feel this way anymore. I have, good and bad days, but overall, I don't feel this way anymore. I convinced myself growing up that I was worthless. And this is in part to things that I went through growing up that instilled that thought in me. things that shouldn't have happened. And so I was made to believe, and then therefore made myself believe that I was worthless and, unlovable and things like that. And, obviously life has shown me otherwise. And I have worked through things to see otherwise and to see the relationships I've cultivated with people and, just how important I am to people, to myself, heck, to my dog, like random, whatever you need on those days to get you through. But yeah, so there was a very long time in my life where I was convinced of that. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing what your mind will trick you into believing if you hear it enough and you feel it enough. So, yeah.
Okay.
Is it? Wait. Oh, I think it's your turn.
Yeah, it's my turn. Where are we at with time? If you want to take a look.
41 minutes.
Cool.
We're just blasting through these. Oh. Uh-oh. I don't know if that's a good or a bad laugh.
Here we go. So this is a random card.
Okay.
What do you hate most about the way I drive?
The way you drive?
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't really drive bad. I would say just, I guess, when you seem like you're not going to stop. So, like, you wait till you're really close to the stop sign. And, like, I don't know, it freaks me out because there's been a couple times where you wouldn't have unless I said something and you were like, oh, you were like, oh, crap. And so I always get nervous that you're just going to, like, blast through a stop sign and cause an accident.
Yeah. There's been a
He's
probably
like, yeah.
2 or 3.
Yeah, so
but, like,
I guess
other than
that.
it's like
other
you
than
just
that,
did
you're
that.
solid. Like, yeah.
Exactly, I'm a boss.
All right, now be just as nice to me.
No? What the fuck?
You can.
No.
Yeah.
Dog, you're hella aggressive.
I get mad.
Aggressive. Like, yo,
People
I'm
need
with
to learn
you.
to drive.
People ride my butt all the time, and
Yeah.
I'll make a comment, but like you are just like middle fingers up, like yeah, okay.
No, you know what I do more than the middle finger is I do like the peace sign or I wave to them as they go by, as they like rush around me, just as like a sarcastic thing.
Yeah, you're just super aggressive, and I worry for when you go out driving because it's like, if you're doing that when I'm with you, then what are you doing when I'm
The
not
same
with
thing.
you? And it's just like it's
Doing
like,
the same thing.
I'm like, dog, you really need a Tesla so you could just have a cruise. And you're just
All
like,
right.
I'm cool, no stress over here because I'm not stressing, I'm not driving.
All right.
All right, we can make it happen. They do free delivery.
Yeah, I'm good.
Free delivery?
All
You don't
right.
want that?
Next question.
I hate you.
So this is an intimacy question. What makes me different from the other people you've been with? This doesn't really apply to you, I feel
because
like.
I haven't been with anyone else except for myself. But, I mean, compared to me, I'm the bomb. So, I mean.
We don't want to know about the stuff you've been with yourself.
Wow. Well, we had some great times. Probably going to have a great time later.
Ew. My dude. We are on the podcast.
Oh, my God. What makes me different from the other people you've been with? Okay, so since I haven't been with anyone else, you cool. You cool.
Do you want me to answer?
Oh yeah. Answer. Be my guest. I don't really have much to add.
You challenged me in ways that other people did not.
Damn right, dog, because we don't got no suckers around here. Even my dog's about it. I tell her to attack, and she just stares.
right. He's all like, listen, I got her doing this. Yeah, okay. No, yeah. And I think that has helped me grow as a person. And so that's cool. I mean, emotionally, you're different, which has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're pretty different.
I know.
I feel like each person I've been with kind of was in their own like category of like who they are.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I guess I've never had a type. It was like whoever I'm vibing with, and that's how it goes. That miss. Oh, it's your turn. I asked that question first.
Oh, okay. I keep losing track of who's turn. So this one is Ooh. See, you would like this one.
What category is it?
This is past.
Okay.
What do you wish you could go back and tell yourself 10 years ago?
You know, I was just thinking about this a few nights ago, and it's kind of funny because I got all deep about it, of course, and I was like, the problem with that is if I tell myself something 10 years ago, you pretty much might mess up how your current life is. Because if you warn what you went through before she goes through it, you completely change the course of that person's life. Mm-hmm. Whether it's who they were with, what they go through, everything. You know, because I've always been a believer everything happens for a reason. Like even the little things 5 years later, you can be like, wow, that had to happen to literally make this happen. I've said it before that the person I was with before you, we probably shouldn't have been together as long as we were. However, if we did not break up right when we did, you and I would not be together, period. Like, I firmly believe that. So, I don't know, because that's a heavy one. 10 years ago,
man, here's what
guys,
you would've done.
Hold on. It's May 3rd. Okay, 10 years ago, I was in my very first relationship. And I didn't like how I was being ignored. That was kind of his thing. He didn't know how to process emotions. We were too young. It was a thing. But I don't know. Because see, me, I feel like I would go back and I would tell that girl a lot of things. But one would be like, yeah, that you're going to go through a few different guys. But 10 years from now, you are married, despite the fact that you probably don't believe you will be. And you have your own place, and you have had for years now, which you all are also probably wouldn't believe, and that the things you're going through now with the people that you're surrounded with right now won't necessarily get easier. They'll change, but you will be in a better place, and you'll be able to handle things, and you will find your own extended family, and you'll build your own family who's amazing. Also, let's see, 10 years ago, shout out, you will meet your best friend in a few months because I was still at the point where I didn't really have real friends. So the first best friend I have, I met that September. So that'll happen. And what else? I feel like there's something else in my mind. Oh, that despite... Oh, this is a big one. This is like what I did on TikTok and stuff. Despite the fact that you are living pure hell right now and that everybody makes fun of you, and every day you walk through the doors of that high school, you have a panic attack and you want to throw up and you want to run away. Despite the fact that that is your current reality, 10 years from now, let's pretend COVID's not happening. You will be super successful in your business. It'll be your full-time career. You will be killing it, and you'll have met so many amazing people through what you do. And this current reality will not stop you from making that happen. And just, oh God, it's a lot. I'm getting deep here, but it's like if I could tell myself 10 years ago, I was 16, okay? I was a junior in high school, and just... It was a rough time for a lot of reasons. It was not a good time in school and home and everywhere, and just, it's going to get so much better. You're going to meet some amazing people, and yeah. So just everything. I even thought about 20 years ago. I'm like, that's a whole other ball game. If I had to talk to my 6-year-old self.
Yeah, I don't have much to say to myself. Also, you want to tell yourself that as you pass the halls of your community college, if you see this cute-ass black guy, yo, pull him aside and say, hey, how you doing?
Yes, but I couldn't.
Obviously.
Because then I would have been cheating. So, but right? So
that's fine. I wasn't ready at the time. I was trying to build on myself.
See, I'm telling you though, if things changed even slightly, you and I wouldn't be together.
Yeah.
What about you? Come
10 years
on.
ago,
I
that
know
was
mine was like super deep, but you gotta have something.
I was what junior
16,
in high
yeah.
school. I wouldn't say anything. I already knew my path and how I was gonna like progress. Like, cause I wasn't rocking with college. I already knew that. Like, I'm not school smart like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew I had an avenue of like pretty much getting to where I'm at now as far as like a career, and yeah, just moving up and going to where I need to go. Like, I didn't have a doubt. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if anything, I would go back and be like, "Yo, keep on doing what you're doing. Like, you know what you want to do. Keep, being introspective and getting to know yourself and understand how you operate and work, and
Mm-hmm.
You'll be where you are today."
Mm-hmm.
That's all I would have to say.
Yeah, mine would be like, stop doubting yourself. You're gonna doubt yourself forever, but you're still gonna make shit happen.
Yeah.
And you'll have a dog. Finally. That does happen. So
Yeah.
so yeah. All right,
Okay.
let's try and get a light one after
We'll
that.
probably do, because you got one. We'll probably do two more. So you get one more, and I'll do another, and then we'll tap it out.
Random. What's something you thought when we first met that you no longer believe to be true? That doesn't seem very light.
What's something you thought when you first met that you no longer believe to be?
I feel like that could be bad. I'm like, what?
I don't know. That's a tough one. Because I feel like it would have to be something that's bad that like turned into good, or like that you doubted. Like, what's something you thought when we first
Yeah, I'm
met
like struggling.
that you no longer believe to be true? I don't have anything. I kind of want to skip this.
First met.
Because even if I'm trying to reach, like, there's nothing I could really reach on. Like, here's a reach. When we first bumped into each other for the first time in a Target,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, damn, she's probably not gonna like me and all that stuff. Like, probably that.
Aw,
Probably
cute.
if I was really reaching, but like I don't have anything.
Stop, you were so cute.
That made my heart drop. I'm like, wait, is this the girl I've been talking to?
When I tell you how sweaty I was after that interaction.
Yeah.
Right? Like the first one that comes to mind for me, but it doesn't make sense, is like the whole doubting if you would be the one that I would marry. But I felt that like after our first date that I was like, I feel like maybe this will be the one. So that's not right. So I don't know. I don't know what I thought of that changed.
I don't know. Do you want to get another card on that
Sure.
one?
Sure.
That was
because that was a late one. Okay, this is about you. This doesn't make sense. Never mind. We live with each other, so that one doesn't make sense.
Like, damn, I'm just trying to find the last two cards.
Okay, this is life. This doesn't make sense either. We already do it.
Oh, God.
No, okay, I can't answer that one. Oh, this is difficult. Guys, what is going on?
That's a funny card.
Okay, past. What have been the highlights and lowlights of the past year for you?
Highlights and lowlights. I have a lot of highlights. So, like, getting married, of course.
Guys, he said it. He said
going
it.
on vacation.
He said getting married. Honeymoon.
Yeah, going on.
Honeymoon, my love.
Vacation, same thing. They're literally the same.
It's a honeymoon.
Same thing. I know it hasn't happened yet, but I guess you could say, like, the highlight currently is, like, yeah, planning the future place, planning how our future family will look like. So that's currently, like, a highlight I have. A low light over the past year, I really don't have anything. Like, I don't have anything. Like, my life's been pretty cool. Not many issues. And if they are, like, I don't really see them as issues. Yeah.
Okay, good for you. So,
Yeah.
highlights. The biggest highlight has been how much my business has grown over the past year. And so that was like amazing to see kind of unfold and in the ways it did. Obviously getting married was a really fun highlight. And the honeymoon until I got sick with what was probably the coronavirus, but we don't know. Anyways, the low light is the coronavirus. That is the biggest low light for me right now, just because it has been almost 2 months. In Connecticut, the self-employed people have really been suffering without unemployment, loans not getting approved, grants not getting approved, and obviously just a lot of weddings getting rescheduled, and the fear that I don't even know if I'm going to work any weddings this year. It's gotten to the point where I'm getting nervous about that because I'm currently rescheduling through August. And then if we get a second wave in fall, there goes the rest of them. So that has very much been a low light for me because of how high the highlight was of the growth of business. It's been very interesting emotionally and strategically and stuff, just because of how high it went to how dramatically low it went pretty much overnight. So that's been the biggest low light. It's a very obvious one. All right, get a good one. Are you struggling too?
Yeah.
No, like, guys, the cards that I was finding, they made no sense. Like, right, it said like, how do you believe household chores should be split up? And it's like, we've talked about this on the podcast, and two, like, we've already been there, done that. Like, it just, some of them didn't make sense.
Here's one that's interesting. So this is an About You card. What's something frivolous that you don't mind spending money on?
You could argue it's not frivolous at the same time, but skincare. I mean, it matters who you talk to, I guess. But skincare, I believe that good products are pricier, and they work. And I think that my age is when you have to really start caring about skincare. It's, it doesn't work if you start at 50 years old. So, that and massages, I think is, instead of it being frivolous, it's more so that not everybody can afford to do it, is more of where I'm coming from, because it's not really frivolous in the fact that you look at it. So I, obviously before the current times and stuff, I was getting monthly massages for like the past year or two. I made it a priority to prioritize that in our budget, because for me, especially as my work started to increase, it really helped me physically, because one, I've had multiple back injuries over my life. Two, the kind of work I do with like holding my arms up for hours, and it just kind of really does a number on my back. And so physically, it really helped me to kind of stay up with it. And then also on like a mental level, obviously, it really helps to kind of have that time and that self-care. So not necessarily frivolous. It has a reason, but maybe just something that not everybody can prioritize.
Yeah.
What about you?
Mine has to be like tech.
Yes.
I love technology.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Like, when we get our next house, like, I want so many things to, like, at least in my mind, advance how I'm living.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll research things and I'll fall in love and want to buy literally everything that can, like, increase. Like, it could be the simplest thing where it's like, I want to get, for an example, like this, a lot of garage door openers. They're just basic ones. You press a button on your car or like on the side of the wall. They go up and down. So one I want to get is like one that like is connected to your Wi-Fi, so you're able to control it through your phone. Check on it through Google, all that stuff. And it's just like, it's simple, but it's like, dog.
Ugh.
Like, just think of like how easy life would be to be like, oh, you don't have to worry if you forgot to, close the garage door.
No, the biggest one he wants is the blinds that like, or the shades that go like up and down.
I want that
by themselves.
I want a Tesla.
When he says tech, he's not joking. Like, all right, this is our first place we live in. And it's like pretty soon after moving in, we were able to get like a Nest for the heat, the Philips Hue lights for changing colors. He got a 4K TV and sold his other one off. as it is, he's always had the 55-inch. So it's not like he ever had like a small TV. The new Xbox, the iPhone that came out a couple years ago, he had to get the best one, the biggest storage, the
You're
best.
Do the same thing. Like
no, you had to get like the largest, like everything about it.
It's the second largest.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure you got. I don't know. For some reason, that was a point of contention, and just
well, yeah, because it was like, oh, you.
It was so much. Like, oh. It was like the year that they started to go really up in price. So yeah, there's just he's like tech. Like Apple Watch had to upgrade, like all of it.
Yeah, because
all of it.
They weren't doing updates on the current Apple Watch I had.
Oof. He is a big reason we have to budget, okay? Like, this stuff is a lot, you know? But I'll give you credit in the fact that, sure, we are smart about budgeting. So that is kind of how we can afford these things. Because these are, like, he has an expensive hobby, if you look at it that way. Like, it's expensive.
Yeah, it's average. I want to get...
Average. Okay, hold up. Makeup is expensive. But it still ain't as expensive as what you're doing.
Useless, dog. You just make it to like look good for a little bit, and then you wipe it off.
Are you looking for a divorce? You just told me that my entire career and reason for living is useless. Oh my God, guys! You heard it here first. Oh my God, I'm shook. Yeah. I'm shook. At
least with the TV, I could watch it and I don't have to wipe it off.
Have you seen the transformations I have made?
Congrats. Let me give you a cookie.
Do you even know the transformation of confidence that happens?
Okay.
In my chair in front of me.
Do you know the transformation of confidence you have pulling up in a Tesla? Like, look at how a boss is. No?
Honestly, when I go to some of these really bougie weddings, yeah. Like the ones in like Westport, Greenwich, all the ones where like the house, like their kitchen is as big as our entire place. Yeah, those kind of places I can see that. But other than that, I mean,
yeah, currently
I deal with a lot of average people
pulling up in your little car, like, I'm here, guys. Beep beep. Pretty much, just what the ordinary.
Right, and then they come in with the luxury car. Beep beep.
Oh, man.
But yeah.
I think
dude, makeup is not useless.
Yeah, but it's useless compared to tech.
No, it's not.
Technology saves lives.
What?
Technology saves lives.
You could argue makeup does too.
Technology saves more lives.
You don't know that?
Ventilators.
All right. You want to be literal? Okay, no, stop it. No, that's not fair. He chooses to say ventilators while we're going through coronavirus. Really?
All right, I'm gonna wrap this bad boy up because it was a good episode, and I'm tapped out. We're gonna go on a walk and enjoy some of the sunlight.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 75 today. Woohoo!
All right, guys. If you like this, please give us a like on this video if you're watching on YouTube. Give us a rate and review. It's our 100th episode,
guys. You know what we'd really love for our 100th episode? An iTunes review. Give us 5 stars, 5 stars.
Or whatever platform you're on.
We would really love that. Please.
Yeah, and I like this. I want to be opposed to doing this for like next episode or something. It was cool.
This was fun. We hope it was a nice break from all of the coronavirus stuff.
And at least you get to know more of us, more about us, depending on how long you've been listening. Yeah, it's a cool card game to play with your significant other. You can find it on Amazon. Again, it's called Intimacy. I feel like it was like $20, $30, something like that.
Yeah.
It's cool. Get to know your person. It's cool if you're like, I would say perfect for like the couple that's like in their first year or something. You can go through like different things. It could bring up issues.
Oh, it could be heavy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm Shadell, co-host of Patreon Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife,
Lauren, and our dog Missy, because she keeps looking up like, wait, don't forget about me. I'm here too.
Yeah. And we will see you guys on episode 101 next week.
Bye.
Peace out.